Hey Marcel, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Running around crazy.
Well, that's
I have my first real gig back coming up in a month, and couldn't start out with like a 2 or 3 truck show. No, it's 7 semis.
what? What is it?
Yeah, it's the commencement for Hofstra University.
Wow.
So
7 trucks.
it's a Sam 575, 4 video walls, full lighting system, full stadium PA.
Wow.
First call is like 50 guys from the IA.
Kick ass. Good for you, man. Congrats.
Yeah, so it feels good. It felt good to write that invoice the other day. I tell you what,
Yeah. Oh,
it's
that's
been a
killer.
while.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Somebody we use frequently here told us add extra pushers to the job because we're all out of shape.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it's funny because sadly, I just went to a funeral within our industry, and I ran into a bunch of friends that I haven't seen since pre-COVID, and man, some of them are big. Like there was guys that I didn't even recognize that I know really well, and I'm not going to say any names, but most of you know these people too. And one in particular, I was just like, dude, like you're two of you're double right now. What are you doing? Stop. Zip your freaking mouth shut, you know? Yeah. It's weird. Like, I don't know. I guess different people, different strokes, different people handle it differently as far as how to behave during COVID. Some watch porn, some eat popcorn. I don't know.
Some
Some do
probably watch
both, like
porn and
Steve
eat
Warren.
popcorn.
Yeah, Steve Warren
Yes,
does
some do
both.
both.
Yeah, he's just figured
You
out
leave
how to
me
work
out of
his
this,
hands
Sam. You're ready to out everybody, aren't you?
while he's
Yeah.
sitting there eating popcorn.
Vacuum pumping my wine, it looked dodgy. I'm like this. Yeah.
I was wondering, I was wondering
Fine.
which hand you were holding the popcorn with,
Got to pass the time somehow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fedo, somebody was talking about you today because they were talking about NASCAR, and they're like, yeah, what's his name? What's his name? God damn it, the guy who used to be with Morpheus. And I'm like, Mark Fedo? And he's like, yeah, he'll tell you. And I don't even remember what it was about. It was something about
No,
NASCAR.
it came up because we were talking about.
Oh,
I
it was
said,
Ben. That's who it was. It was Ben Saltzman.
Saltzman. Yeah, I said I didn't. I said I wasn't watching NBA, MLB, or NFL right now. That my two sports were hockey and NASCAR.
And then fucking Featherstone called hockey a chick sport. That's a girl
buddy,
sport in my country. And
buddy,
I'm like,
you came right back at him beautifully.
No, I was like, let's go. We're fighting, John.
Marcel
we're
said,
going, buddy.
Marcel said, yeah, unless the British play hockey like a girl. That's why I've never seen a professional British hockey player.
Well, and then I sent him one of those memes of like, a guy walking by a
fantastic
soccer player and he's diving and rolling on the ground and stuff. The soccer guys.
Not for nothing. I wouldn't be dishing the girls' sports too much. They do pretty good in hockey and in soccer. They beat the boys repeatedly year after year.
Well, that's where the conversation was going to end up going. Was my Canadian hockey team would beat the shit out of your men's hockey team in England,
and your soccer team.
And your soccer team. God. Some of those
Mark Fedo. How you been, man? What are you doing these days?
Not audio, apparently.
There we go. Not an audio.
He's a lighting guy.
Yeah, just build another lighting company. We're actually starting to see some things perking for the, summer to fall. So
yeah, it feels kind of good, doesn't it? They actually seems like some legitimate traction happening.
Yeah, I mean, I've been busier the last week than I've been probably combined the last 6 months. So,
well, I was talking to a friend of mine in Vegas, not in our industry, a couple days ago, and he bought his wife a couple of retail stores that are inside casinos, I think one might be in the MGM and one might be in Venetian or something. I don't remember, but he said that right now she's at higher than pre-COVID numbers at her retail shops in Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas has gone crazy.
Yeah.
It's, um,
It's full wide open May 1, I think, right? 100% at May 1.
It's going wide open. Well, what they're doing is transferring the oversight of COVID rules and regs to the local municipalities on May 1.
Well, because Governor Sisolak's a fucking pussy, and he got tired of being pushed back. So he just said, "Okay, I'm handing it to you guys," and they handed it to the Las Vegas, and they're like, "Fucking game on."
Well, that's why, like, the EDC, that's North Las Vegas. That's going to happen. I was talking to Aaron Crowley the other day, and he's like, a week ago, I would have told you it's not going to happen. This week, and what happened over this past weekend, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's on too.
They're going to have every safety precaution known to man in there, but they'll do the 150,000 kids a day.
Well,
Yeah.
People have to be vaccinated to go there?
no,
I don't know. There's no right now. Everything's speculation.
no, you don't. And it's Nevada, southern Nevada's kind of turning into Florida, and they're just going to go for it. I think it's either that or they got to shut everything down. And then you've got April 15th, which I think is tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is.
Tomorrow, CAA, William Morris, Live Nation. I'm dealing mostly with CAA right now. That's their drop dead date to announce what summer tours are going and what summer tours are not going to go. So I've got a whole bunch. Hello, Tim Murch. I got a whole bunch of bands that are telling me they're going to go. Like Maroon 5's got dates. I'm in the Los Angeles office. I have the Foo Fighters in the next building. That's why it's quiet, because they're on break right now. They're rehearsing and shooting some stuff to do promo to promote the tour that they're about to do. They had some dates in June that they just pulled the plug on. But Global Citizen is happening in LA in the middle of May.
The only issue is you need to look at Michigan, and Michigan is getting fucked right now. I don't know if you've seen those numbers, but
Yeah, I have.
I mean, their hospitalization is the highest it's been the entire pandemic right now.
Okay, so what are they doing differently? They've been locked down.
They're saying it's a lot more younger people, and I guarantee you it's a lot of those kids that went to spring break. I guarantee that's where a bunch of that came
Okay, so why isn't that happening where spring break took place? It makes no fucking sense.
I don't know.
There's no logic.
John, it is. The numbers in Florida yesterday were higher than they've been since like December. They were crazy. They were close to 8,000 yesterday.
Okay, so taking it right down the middle, all right? The numbers, that can be taken a lot of different ways, Marcia. Here's where I disconnect. 2019 worldwide flu, 38 million cases of flu. 2020, 112,000 cases. Okay,
because people were wearing masks and socially distancing.
You think it dropped from 38 million to fucking one?
Nobody around here was out.
Time out. All I can say is that the news is reporting new COVID positive cases and the numbers to that with a couple of counties. Now I live in Broward, the New Times Monroe, and they also give total deaths for the state per day. I don't know what flus or other viruses. The only one they're talking about is positive COVID-19.
I'm
So
not disputing.
not to dispute your numbers, but radically in the last week, the numbers that are reported on the news daily have gone up incrementally in the last week.
I don't
Good
doubt.
or
I
bad?
don't. Hold on,
However-
wait. I don't dispute that or doubt that for
Well,
one.
I
second.
do. I do.
Well, hold on.
because I'm
Wait.
looking at
Let
the
me
numbers right now.
Let me finish my thought. I don't dispute it at all. Okay, but I also don't dispute the fact that people get sick, and
Of
news
course.
news is not news anymore. whether you're on the left or the right or the middle, there's no fucking news organizations anymore, which is a whole different discussion. So I like Marcia, I'm with you on this stuff. I want people to live and thrive, and I don't want to do stupid things. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination. But
Nor am I. I would
don't
just
know-
like us to stop.
I don't know what the
kicking this
fuck to
around.
I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Believe in
yesterday,
your own health. Believe in what you have and what you know is your own
That's
reality.
pretty much, that's
And
pretty
pray to
much what I've done.
God that
Yeah.
other people are as responsible as you are. And if the numbers go down, if more people die, then we're not doing the right thing. If more people get
Yeah, but
immunized, the numbers go
If
down.
I can jump in
then
here
we're
for a
doing the
second,
right
though,
thing.
part of the problem, though, Marcia, and I'm not picking a fight or anything, but part of the
Yeah,
problem
I
is
know.
when people make statements like the numbers yesterday were higher than they've been since December, it's completely false. And I gave you a New York Times vision of it, which is obviously very liberal
Is
leaning.
that the link? Was that the link you
Yeah,
put in?
that was the link. So in January, it was something like 20,000 new cases. Yesterday, it was 8,000 new cases.
well,
in all
I'll
of
tell you,
Florida.
Well, I
I'll
just
say
know,
Marcel,
that before spring break, we were down to about 3,000 new cases statewide, and it was going down daily. And I thought that was great. And then about a week and a half
Not according to
ago,
this
it
report.
started-
Not according to this report is all I'm
Wait,
saying.
Floridians aren't the only ones who participate in spring break. There are people who
Hello.
fly in, bring or catch, and then
Hi, Art.
leave.
I mean,
So
I'll
the
tell
statistics
you,
for Florida
I just,
aren't reflective
Great.
of
I'll be
spring
up
break.
before 6.
I'll tell you, I
Yeah.
just
Thanks, buddy.
Googled Michigan. I just typed into Google Michigan COVID-19 numbers, and yesterday they reported 10,000 cases. Yesterday.
Okay,
You
so
know,
Something's going on in Michigan.
Hold on. So a case
No,
is
college
reported.
kids are
That's
disgusting.
fine. If a case is reported, that's fine. You know what? I used to get you get sick, you get a cold, you recover, you're okay. But you could put that down as that I contracted something. So what's the death rate
No,
and how
these
much
are
of that?
deaths.
Then
These are
hold
deaths.
on. Then you've got to dig down a little bit deeper and say, of those
Well-
people who died, right? Let me just finish this.
Yeah.
Of those people who died, what are the conditions of their death? So the average age that you're supposed to make it to is 74. Okay. The average age of COVID death is 72.
But that's
Okay.
changing now, John.
That's
That's changing.
look at.
I'm just saying.
Liar.
Jesus,
This is what
John.
my dad told me. Liar. 3 ways. He was a lawyer. Liar. 3 ways to say stat. Three ways to say liar. Liar. Goddamn liar and statistician. And he was a trial attorney. And he
Yeah,
used
yeah,
it.
yeah. You've said that before. What's
Yeah, I
your-
know, but I'm just. It's
what's your-
still.
what's
It's still valid.
what's your actual
You
meaning.
know,
No, all
John,
I'm-
John, you can
Everybody
make
go back to
that
work and
same
get-
argument for cancer. You can make the same
I agree.
argument for so many
I agree.
diseases.
All right.
The fact remains, our industry and many others have been virtually
Is
shut
fucked.
down and locked up for over a year. Everyone wants to get back. Nobody knows the hows.
Who's
Everyone's
disputing that,
arguing-
Marcia? Who is disputing that? Nobody. Nobody disputes what
Nobody.
you just said.
So-
Here we are disputing statisticians and numerical counts. Who the
No,
fuck cares
because-
what the numbers
No,
are?
but Marcia, then don't use them. All I'm saying is when you come out and make a statement that the problem is in Florida, our numbers are higher than they have been since December, it's not true.
All right.
So
They've
it's
been
just not
higher-
true.
Pardon me, I
I don't
will
know
amend
about
my
that.
statement. They've been higher than they've been in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
I got
Hi,
here
Ben.
just in
That's
time.
true
Yeah, right,
statement.
Ben.
You know, I'm not a journalist. Excuse me.
So this is all I'm going to say. If you go by the numbers, the older people who are more susceptible have pretty much been vaccinated. So they are not going to be as susceptible and die. Let me just finish, please. So what you're discovering now is the younger crowds are getting sick, and they're getting sicker because of the variants. This is not like standard COVID. They're getting like the Brazilian strain, they're getting the South American and the UK strain, which is more deadly. And these people have not been vaccinated, and they put themselves in a high-risk situation.
These are
So
a
that's-
lot of, those are a lot of assumed
They're
things
not,
though, that you're
though.
saying.
Yeah, they
Google.
are.
No, but you
Google,
know
my
that
friend.
they all have.
Google.
You know
Who
that
put
they
it on
all
Google?
have the new variants.
Wikipedia.
You know that
Come
they're
on.
all young that are getting sick. You know that they all
Michigan,
have new
the
variants. You know that-
hospital. I'm literally reading an article right now. The Michigan in general, I'm using this as a case study, and we could say Michigan is fucked. But the more of the people that are getting hospitalized right now are the 18 to 40-year-olds. They are not
Yeah.
seeing people 40 and above because they had been vaccinated. That's all
So
I'm
anyways,
saying.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
I think we've gone down a deadly rabbit hole at this point, and
Every
and
pun intended.
from my standpoint, I don't think there's any value in us having this conversation. But
Sure.
I think there are really high value things that we've already brought up, and a lot more we can. And
I mean,
Marcia
want
made a good
positive-
point, and John made a good point,
Yeah.
which is what is any of this doing to get people back working, to get our industry back open, and all of those things. And that to me is really the center
Well,
of all of this stuff. That and people not dying who
To say
No, I
what,
don't-
to,
I know
to
and
go
love.
down that road, Marcel, I do have good news. I was
Good.
just contacted. It looks like the end of April, I will be flying to Cyprus and finishing the cruise ship.
Good for you, man. That's kick ass.
So,
Amen.
but
Right.
I still have to quarantine for 2.5 weeks on the ship.
Yeah. Well,
Could be
who was
someplace
telling
where
us today, John? Was it
Matt,
Ben
did
or
you
was
back
it
in time for
you?
my gig?
Who was it?
We'll talk after.
Who was it who said today about what you got to do to go to a Lakers game?
That was me.
Well, it was both. Yeah, I may be late to the party here, so you probably already talked about this, but I heard
No, we didn't.
last
We just-
night that
Argument just started.
EDC got their permits in Vegas.
Yes, we talked
Oh.
about that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And Ben, you went to a Yankees game and you talked about what a great experience.
I
it
went to
was.
a Yankees game and it was fucking great. I mean, I
Yeah.
had my little vaccine thing on my phone. My son had to get a test.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium with 10,000 people is both awesome and kind of boring.
Yeah, but how great to be out in
No.
the ballpark with your son.
I
Exactly.
will say,
Fucking
Ben, I'm
get
going to
better.
Mets Stadium to see the Mets Red Sox play on the 27th.
Yeah, did the Red
The
Sox
Mets
win
don't
that
play.
day, Ben, or,
What?
I didn't-
The Mets don't play.
The Mets won
Oh,
2 games
it's
the other
me.
day, didn't they?
They did, but the Red Sox are on a tear right now, so watch out.
I'm not a Mets fan. I'm just saying, I thought it was good news to Mets fans since they really.
Let's go back to talking about Michigan because that'll be more enjoyable.
It's less depressing
Fair
than
enough,
being a Mets
Ben.
fan.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, I mean, this cruise ship thing is all tentative, but it's kind of exciting. It's my first, if it happens, first big gig in a while. So,
Yeah, but do we think that if this thing goes off in Vegas, do the floodgates open at that point?
In
Well,
the
there is-
states that are smart, yeah.
well, I mean, there is other festivals. Like I said, at the end of April, there's that festival in Florida on the Panhandle. So, I mean, there are things that are happening. I know
Yeah.
that.
there's a couple in I think in Michigan. Speaking of Michigan. and-
Wasn't WWE this weekend?
Yeah, I had some friends on the crew. They said it went great.
Yeah. Huddleston was posting pictures, or Upstaging was posting pictures of it.
Yeah.
So
They just announced that, what's his name, Dana White, they're going full audience on.
yeah, they announced that like a month ago.
UFC. Well,
I
it was
mentioned
on
that.
yesterday. They confirmed it.
Oh, yeah. No,
Oh,
they sold
Nancy's on.
15.
We should ask Nancy about Red Rocks if she's heard
They
anything.
they sold 15,000 tickets in minutes for that thing a few weeks ago.
Hey, you guys, sorry I'm late. Good
No,
to
you're
see you.
Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi.
As always.
Hey, what's going on with Red Rocks? Have you heard anything?
Yeah, so I actually get called back on Friday this week. We are going to have a rigging instruction for our new roof. We start having shows. Well, actually, there's a super secret show for first responders on the 21st. We'll hang some lights and sound on the 21st next week, and then I'm
Not
not
secret
sure the
anymore.
24th. What?
Not a secret anymore.
Well,
Not
yeah,
secret
watches
anymore.
you guys, yeah. Anyway, yeah, like anybody cares, right? So then the next day, the 22nd, we have a show and we start we have 3 nights at Lotus. Our capacity is 2,500 right now. So, and I actually haven't been back to work yet. So they haven't been telling me a lot of what's going on yet, unfortunately. But so we have a capacity of 2,500. Hopefully they'll raise that. But we have shows almost every day in May already.
Wow.
Are
We've got
they
3 days
confirmed?
of
Are they
Lotus.
confirmed tours, Nancy? Or are they
Are they
one-offs?
tours? No, I think they're one-offs. So, I mean, Lotus is a Live Nation. I know Brown Note here in Denver is doing those. And
Yeah.
then they're also doing the first Red Rock shows, which are, we do those 3 Lotus dates, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And we have Travis Hall on the 29th and 30th of April. Then we have on the 1st, we have something called K-Trenda on the 1st and 2nd. And then we have Zoo ZHU for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of May. The 6th of May is Sun Squabby. 7th and 8th of May are Leftover Salmon. Zoo comes back on the 9th of May and plays 9, 10, 11.
I thought you were reading the menu.
A bunch
No,
of those
I,
are DJs though.
Yeah, they
And-
are. I mean, you know, they're cheap, and that's why they can afford to do them.
Yeah.
Then we have
Somebody's
Diplo,
actually
Diplo.
called Leftover Salmon.
Well, that's a band. Yes.
Yes, it is a band. Yes. Yes, it's a Boulder
I feel
band.
old suddenly. I feel really old.
I mean, there is
Leftover
a
Salmon.
ska
You're not alone
punk
on
band
that,
called
Marcel.
Bowling
I feel it
Pursuit
too.
So
Yes, no, me too.
That's
That's
wild.
okay. I like it when I actually recognize some of them. So Leftover Salmon does a song about alfalfas in Boulder, which is the socially conscious, you know, it's like it was Whole Foods before Whole Foods was Whole Foods. But anyway, they have a
They
song
also
about
sing Wet Ass
alfalfas.
Pussy.
What?
I think they also sing Wet Ass Pussy.
Well, there you go. There you go. So, and then there's and then there's
Might be a
band,
little
there's
off
somebody
on that
called,
one, Patrick.
hey, I'll
What's
do
his
anything
name?
for a laugh. And then we have somebody called Diplo, Diplo.
yeah, Diplo.
Yeah.
Diplo.
Diplo,
Diplo.
sorry. So that's, I mean, shows you what I know. May 12, 11. And then on the 14th, we have something called Monument. On the 15th, we have OCs, OSEES. The 16th, we have Lucero. We don't seem to have a band on the 17th, but we have high school graduations, 18, 19, 20. We have Mount Joy on the 22nd. And I think we have holds for a long time after that, but they haven't announced shows yet. So we're back to our almost show every day.
Yeah,
Nice.
Wiseman said that Live Nation and everybody were drop dead making plans for tours tomorrow.
Boom.
Yeah. And we've also got a 27th, May 27th with Andy Frasco in the UN.
I don't know half of these bands. And
Oh, no, me neither. Well, I only know them because they play up there every year, but there are a lot of EDM stuff, you know, because it doesn't cost much to bring fly the DJ in. So, you know, flash and trash, and that's about it, as we love.
Are
Dearson,
they
do you
giving
know
any
what-
date to when they're gonna open up to more people?
Nope,
Or
it
don't you know
depends on nope, when the governor says. So, I mean, if they do it tomorrow, obviously these shows are all sold out. Pretty much everything is sold out as soon as it goes on sale. That's why they kept adding dates.
So every
Dearson,
show is
Dearson, do you know what
2,500
Gumper's doing
guys.
this week? Something in New Orleans?
He's got a project in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, is that the thing?
Are they
that,
gonna call
You
me?
women.
The dog show.
straight from there to Dallas for the Everybody Festival.
You guys better check in on me when you come to Orlando.
Who's
All
coming
right.
along?
I want to go to Orlando.
Huh?
Okay.
I said, this is Nancy. I want to go to Orlando. I want to go someplace.
It's a Hog 1000, my friend, right there. No, it's a Hog 500.
Oh, God.
Where
Our arena's
trolling my
booking dates
Facebook
like
right now.
crazy. So,
Funny. Hey, so has anybody seen has anyone seen the what's it called? Burj Khalifa, the big building in Dubai, the show with Richard Hammond talking about that building and talking to the mechanical engineers who designed it and all that shit. I saw this thing on like Discovery yesterday or something. Have you not seen that? I mean, if you haven't, Google it because it's incredible.
There's a video
I know
of
that I kind of
somebody,
changed the subject.
Somebody's
What's that?
launching an eagle off the top of that thing with a GoPro on its back.
What?
Oh,
No.
it's amazing. The eagle like circles around and then finds its owner in a ballpark like 5 miles away.
Holy shit.
I'll
Well,
try and
he
find it on YouTube.
so they took Richard Hammond, if you don't know, is the guy from Top Gear, and which is Grand, whatever it's called now, Grand Tour.
Grand Tour.
But
Grand Tour.
so he goes up like a series of, you got to go up a whole bunch of different elevators to get to, first you get to like, I think the 135th or 38th floor, the top floor, whatever it is. And then you go up another a whole bunch of stairs to get to like the very tippy top kind of thing. And then you climb up the tower on this ladder to the very, very top of the tower. And he had to change some lightning beacon thing. That was their job that he was taking part in. But I mean, I was like going, holy shit. Like I was kind of getting a little, weird just watching the video of this. But it was just super cool how that thing is designed and what it's built on. And even just the engineering to get water through that tower. And it's pretty cool. It's definitely worth the watch. Did you find it, Patrick?
Patrick just sent us the link.
Oh, cool, cool.
Yeah,
An
please send it. I'd like to see it.
FPV's, drone video of somebody diving that building in a with a drone.
Oh, what do you mean diving the building?
If
Like a
you click
bungee
on
thing
it,
or something?
It's taking one of these little drones and flying it up all the way to the top of the building and then diving it down the side.
Oh,
It's
I thought you meant a
crazy.
guy diving off and a drone
No.
watching him.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Has anybody in like one of those bat suit things or something jumped off the top of that yet, or no? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. A few wingsuit guys did a base jump off of that a while back, and landed
Wow.
like on the other side of the channel.
That's big nuts, man. That building's tall. What is it, like 1,300 feet or something? It's a lot.
It's got to be more than that, right? Because isn't it the
I don't
tallest
know.
building in the world?
Well, it's big. Whatever it is, it's a lot. It's it's got to be more than that because it's 150 stories basically. So it's got to be like 1,700 feet.
It is 2,722 feet.
Holy Christ, was I off? Yeah.
Oh.
Big.
And the Olympics is only 100 days away. If we haven't talked about that yet.
Who's working there?
I wonder what politics are going to do to that.
A bunch of New York guys are working that. Our Hurricane Minds mutual friend Ross Blitz is gaffing and
That's LDG, right? But are they going? Ross isn't going, is he?
Ross is going, yeah. He's done the Olympics for a while. He's doing it with I forget his name, but I don't know if it's LDG or if he works for NBC directly or how it works.
Really
but
is.
That's cool. I mean, shit's
John,
happening.
you guys got to be doing a ton of stuff on the Olympics now. You don't know?
No clue. Not it's.
Yeah, they
you know what?
canceled a bunch of the events, like the parties and the concerts.
Yeah, but we were always involved in the opening closing ceremonies for years. I've been doing that for 40 years.
And they still got to do all the freaking broadcast.
Yeah, the last wasn't there just a Beijing Olympics? That was summer, I guess, right? I don't know. How's that work? How are they doing it again so fast?
So John, you're going to really like this. Then there's going to be a Winter Olympics in Beijing in 2 Olympics from now.
Wow.
Well, you got to hand it to them. They're politically, they're fucking animals, man. They're good.
I knew
I
you'd
got
like that.
something figured out.
Yeah. So I don't think I like the last one, which by the way was one of the Beijing opening ceremony.
It was outrageous.
The most stunning thing I've ever seen in my life.
Outrageous.
And it just kept getting more and more. It's like if you thought that was cool, wait a minute, right? That was all done pretty much, creatively inside China by Chinese companies. I think we shipped a bunch of stuff over there from our German offices, but not the involvement that like I've had on the past, where you actually.
I'm kind of partial to the 2010 Vancouver one. It was a lot lower budget, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know that Beijing one.
What
they had going for them. What they had going for them was slave labor. I remember watching all these things
and cheap lights and
popping up and down. Yeah, and I was thinking to myself, how the hell are they doing that? And then I saw a bunch of feet. Each one of those cubes was a person in there. And holy shit!
Barefoot children on a dirt floor.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You've seen the videos of them building a train station overnight, right?
Unbelievable.
They just like throw masses of people on a few pieces of heavy equipment at it, and suddenly it's there, and it wasn't the day before.
And a deadline and a gun to your head. That'll get you going.
That's crazy. Oh, Deerson's product video. Cool. Gotta check that out.
Oh yeah, it's officially out today.
So how was it, Eric? Be honest. Patrick, don't listen.
No problem.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
Did a
muting
lot of
makes it so
fixing
you
in
can't hear.
post.
So Patrick, what is it? What's the product video? What's the product? You?
Some stupid light that Elation's doing. I don't know. That's the Mondrian unit. It's just the demo of it. It's to show off what it can do. Very impressive unit. It's pretty cool.
What's the source?
It's a 950 watt LED white light engine, and then they've got their Spectra color mixing system which is a 6-blade mixing system that does CMY and RGB. So the reds and the greens and the blues just get so deep. It's really cool.
So the last huge innovation that I saw, and I'm clearly not a technology guy, was I think it was the last LDI before this shit at the fan. Was it Clay Packing made a laser source light? Is that what it was? I thought that was going to be the future. What happened to that?
COVID,
really?
Well,
I
it was
mean,
COVID and it was laser variances are the two problems.
They
that
had,
it's to deal with, but
apparently they had about 800 POs for about 800 of them, but they hadn't started shipping when COVID shut everything down.
But as far as
the only company that has them now, I think, is Christie.
No, we have
PRG
some.
get 100?
No, we have a bunch of them. So what's as far as a new platform goes? Everyone has a light bulb in their light. Why doesn't everyone? And then it all went to LED, and all the companies and manufacturers got on that platform. Why hasn't that platform caught on? Because of COVID.
What do you mean, the laser?
Yeah,
because of variances.
Variances. We came out with a laser product 5 years ago.
What's a variance? What the fuck does that mean? You mean a license?
You have to apply to the
Who wants
FDA.
to explain variances to John Wise?
You have to apply to the FDA. We just went through it.
Right.
To get a variance, it's the same thing you need if you're doing a laser, if you're running a regular laser.
Right.
That was the issue.
And then you
with
have to track everything every day it's on. You have to make sure it's not hitting the crowd in certain spots, all this stuff.
It's the same issue with the Minute Uns that are out in France. Like I think they actually just got variance clearance.
But it's kind of silly because I think from what I've read anyways, and what I've learned talking to Clay Packy engineers and stuff, the Stylus is actually safer than a Sharpie when it's scanning the audience.
You say laser.
Yeah, I know that's the whole thing. It's
Freaking
just a
lasers.
stigma. It's a stigma attached to freaking lasers.
And Marcel, it changes from country to country. In the U.S., I don't know if it still is, but it used to.
Yeah,
be
Europe doesn't care. You can blast people in the face with 100-watt lasers.
The U.S. is the only country that is.
And probably Canada.
That's
Canada,
therein lies the stigma. The stigma is called the FDA. That's the stigma.
There you go.
Nobody else has to go to the director of their food in any other.
Ding, ding, ding,
So are you
ding, ding.
saying that you're saying the government could have screwed something up?
All right. Hang on. I gotta go because I got a dinner, but I feel like I'm exiting right where I began. So thank you, John. The rest of you have a great night.
See you, Ben.
Safe.
Bye.
Bye, Ben. Good to see
Bye.
you.
Stay safe.
Hey,
See you,
Ben,
Ben.
how old are you eating dinner at 5:30?
He's doing the happy hour or early bird special.
Yeah, he's doing the blue hair special at the diner down the road.
Buy two, get one free or something like that.
I love talking about people after they hang up. That's my favorite thing to do. Nobody hang up. Yeah.
Dangerous.
Steve Warren, how is UK?
We would never hang up on you, Marcel. I wouldn't dare.
Many have. Better than you even.
Oh, Marcel, it's strange. I mean, there's so much sort of going on, so much being planned. Everyone I speak to is all excited about different jobs they're doing and telling me. However, there was it's sort of depressing to report. The last thing I saw this afternoon was a festival that we're going to. We normally go to every year, and it's the very end of August, and they've just said they've had to cancel. And again, it's again down to not being able to get any insurance, any government-backed insurance. So sort of the bigger festivals just not.
So how is Glastonbury happening?
What? Not on June 24th as it normally does.
No, I think it's towards the end of the year.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a much scaled down
Well,
event.
isn't Leeds and Reading still happening?
Well, I don't know, but then you hear from people in the background who are supposed to be supplying it, they're not really convinced that it's going to go ahead. So
interesting.
Still, so yeah.
Well, I was talking to a band today, and they think it's going to happen.
They're convinced. I certainly hoped, and I was taking it as read that it would go ahead.
But at what point, if you can't get insurance, then what's the difference if you're running at 20% uninsured or 100% uninsured? You're fucked either way.
Very true.
So what's the difference?
Yeah, maybe it's just the bigger events that have got the sort of name DJs. They're having to pay because I think smaller events. Yeah, the smaller events seem to be very gung ho. But there's another festival of 35,000 that goes off 5th of August that we go to every year. And they're convinced that will go ahead. And I was just checking with them again today, and they're really confident that it's going to happen. But nobody really knows. The government's turned on a dime, just turned a complete U-turn in whatever, from one week to the next. So everybody's still shitting themselves. Basically.
When is the funeral, Steve? Is it Saturday?
Which one? Oh my! I thought, who died? What funeral?
I don't know your Prince.
Oh yeah, the old racist. That's right.
The old racist. Oh
the old
my
racist,
God!
he's gone.
Wow.
That's how you really feel.
How is he on the board of like 250 charities? Like, how is that possible?
Well, Marcel, I have to say, whatever, the royal family, they do seem to bring in a lot of people. I've never had a very strong view either way about it. What really upset me over this COVID issue is our government apparently have had to pay out for the lost profits of the royal family, of the royal
Yeah,
estate.
that's insane.
The lost profits.
I wasn't
How is
asking
that
your
possible?
opinion of the royal family. Only
Well,
when is the
I
damn
mean,
funeral?
Yeah, well, exactly. I
Is
wouldn't
it
have
Saturday?
a goddamn clue. Wouldn't have a clue.
I'm gonna
mate.
Google it. I'm gonna
Wouldn't
Google
have a
when's the
clue.
damn funeral.
It is
The guy,
Saturday.
he did
Marcel.
pretty well, I think.
Marcel, it is
pretty well in his
Saturday.
life.
Is it? I thought
Yeah.
so. Yeah. No, he did well in his life. He married a queen.
Certainly did.
I mean,
Well, he was a prince before he married the queen, so let's not forget that.
Yeah, but he got exiled from his, wherever.
Right.
Did
He
or did
lucked
his-
out.
yeah, he did all right. He did okay. I've seen some pretty funny. I've seen some funny queen jokes though. Since
Whatever it
he
was worth,
passed.
they were together for
But
70
doesn't she literally, isn't they the biggest tourist attraction over there? And doesn't she literally own like, bazillion acres of land over there?
Yeah, yeah. And John, as I said, some people are very anti, some people are very pro. I've sort of been in the middle and say, well, hey, she brings in a lot of people and it's part of the UK. So, and
Well,
just
you know
go
what?
with it.
They give tax breaks to Disneyland as a tourist attraction. The fucking
Yeah.
Queen
So-
brings in more than
so-
Disneyland ever dreamed of.
So
Yeah,
maybe it's
but
fair.
She takes
But
more too, probably. But
I mean,
no,
especially in
you're
this
right
time,
though, Steve.
you know,
You're right, Steve,
especially in this
because
time.
you had a special reaction. Steve Watts, I sent Steve Watts a pretty nasty little joke that I got on the Queen. And like he berated me. He was offended and angry
wow.
and like
Wow.
he was, because he's in love with the royal family, right? And I was like, I'm sorry, dude. It's just a joke, man.
Yeah.
So
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I
pretty
suppose
wild.
listening to him, when they said, if you've got to understand the man, you've got to remember that I think he was 21 in 1941. And so, well, look, you always sort of carry on feeling how you did when you were 21. That's once you reach adulthood, your views very often, they don't change very much.
But
so love him or
when
hate
he
him,
died,
he was a gentleman. He was, intolerant of some other nations. But hey, that's
Yeah.
that's
But
the
I
time
think
you
He
grow
was
up,
a
something else, though,
racist
Steve.
gentleman.
when he died, Steve, I my girlfriend is British, so BBC was on automatically and it
Okay.
was on all day. And one of the things I noticed is stuffy old Brits, they all talk the same and they talk with their teeth
Yes.
closed.
Stiff
They
upper
talk with
lip.
No, they
Stiff
talk with their
upper
teeth
lip.
closed though.
Oh.
You gotta keep your teeth closed. You
Yes,
can't
and keep
open your
marbles
teeth
in your
while
mouth.
you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't understand what the fuck they're saying half the time. But they
Isn't
got
that
their
called a
teeth-
stiff upper lip?
That's right.
That's what
Just
he's
up a
saying,
lip
yeah.
and marbles in your mouth.
Yeah, they got a special way of talking, that's for sure.
They teach that in the public schools, which are not public. I mean, that's another strange thing, isn't it? The public schools are very much
Are
not
private.
for the public.
Yeah,
That's
the public
right.
schools are private and private schools are public. It's very bizarre.
So go figure that out.
What's that, Marcia?
I said, isn't that a bit of an oxymoron?
It is. That's
No,
what public
it's-
schools are the expensive
public schools are the ones you
definitely
pay
not
for.
the public. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they
Very
if they
strange.
say well they reference oh he's a public school boy. I always when I first heard that I thought well, what the fuck does that mean? That means he
Yeah,
went to a
that's-
private school, which makes no
Isn't
sense.
it makes no sense whatsoever. Absolutely. I have
Yeah.
to say, man, I came over here. I'll never forget the thing. I remember going to state school, was coming over at 14, and they were going to play rugby on a frozen pitch outside. And we're all running outside to play fucking rugby. And I'm like, guys, has anyone
Jamaican
noticed
kid.
the ground is frozen. Why are we going outside? We got a basketball court inside. What the fuck are we doing outside for?
I picture you like being like those guys in
Oh,
what was
man.
that movie called? Cool Runnings, walking
Cool
out
Runnings,
to Calgary
yeah, man.
Airport,
Oh,
you know, and,
I was-
and they empty all their suitcases and put on everything from their suitcases.
Marcel,
and they're
man.
like, oh my God. Yeah.
Marcel, I'd never seen snow till I was 14. I was in a maths class in an
That's
English school,
wild.
and it started snowing. And I just walked out the class, walked up and looked up, and like I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Man, it's beautiful.
hilarious.
But yeah, once is enough, really. Yeah, unless you
Yeah.
got skis on.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of miss it now. I never thought I would.
Kind of
but,
miss
you know,
skiing, that's for sure.
But COVID
Yeah.
COVID closes down Canada for, you know, a year and a half, and I suddenly miss snow.
Hey Peter, didn't you get some snow last night up in Tahoe?
It's snowing right now.
Is it really?
Really?
Wow.
Tell you what, hang on.
My snowplow guy called me today and said, "Hey, it snowed. Do you want me to clean it off?" I said, "I'm in LA. We'll let the sun do it."
It's light snow right now.
Wow. Yeah,
And not like your wife needs to get out.
Wow.
No.
Oh wow. Does the lake never freeze behind you, Peter?
No, fuck what? No way.
The channel freezes sometimes, but not at all this year. It's been a mild winter this year.
Huh. The lake never freezes, huh?
Well, the lake never freezes. No, it's too
big.
deep. Yeah.
Yeah, but lakes in Canada, it doesn't matter how deep they are, they still freeze on the top. I mean, the top, you know, 4 or 5 feet freezes, or 2 feet or whatever it is, enough to cut a hole in it and go fishing.
I think the surface at Tahoe, I think it's 72 miles around. It's pretty damn big lake. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of movement out there. I just don't.
But
I don't think it's ever frozen.
73, John.
Well, I think in Canada,
Sorry.
in Canada,
I always stop short, Peter.
in Canada,
know.
most of those mountain lakes are glacier fed, and I'm guessing in Tahoe it's not glacier fed, so it's not as cold. And
It was created by a glacier, but it's not glacier fed now.
It's fucking cold, buddy. I got to tell you, in August, the hottest day of the summer, you know, it still kind of takes your breath away. It's freaking cold, right, Peter? It's a cold lake. It's crystal clear, but it's fucking cold. A lot of people die from just jumping in and they freeze up. Like there was a kid that played on the football team up there, and he was from Hawaii, great swimmer. He was on a paddleboard in like the middle of July, and he fell off the paddleboard without his life jacket on, and that was it. Froze out. That was it. Shock. The shock. It's shocking. I got to tell you. I mean, we go out in boats there all the time, and I tell the kids I won't let the kids jump in unless they got a life jacket on, because I don't care how great a shape you're in or what you think you can do. When you hit that, when it's 90 degrees out and your body hits that water at like 48 or 50, it's fucking cold. It's shocking.
Huh.
Lake Superior is the same way. I think the average temperature in Lake Superior is 39 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, I dove in about 10 years ago after not living up there for a long time, and I popped up and went, holy shit. You know, I can't fucking breathe.
this says that Lake Tahoe. Oh, it doesn't say the water temperature.
Just says fucking cold.
Well, I'm trying to get a little more specific than 65 degrees. Come on, John. Grow a set, son. Grow a set, my friend.
I did, but they immediately rose up at the end of my chest.
Half of my friends got their diving certification off Vancouver,
Yeah.
and it's like 40 degrees. You got to wear a dry suit.
No,
You
dude, I
have
got
to
my
wear a dry suit.
I got my diving certification in Lake Tahoe, and it. And
Oh,
it-
did you?
Oh yeah, with like a half-inch suit, and I remember
Yeah.
going down to like 130 feet without booties or gloves, and holy shit, it was cold. Yeah, it's cold. It's crystal
No
clear,
can do.
beautiful, absolutely stunning. You can, it's like the Caribbean. You can see, it's probably better than the Caribbean. You can see the bottom 60, 70 feet down, it's crystal clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, these guys are starting up. It's about to get really loud in here. Enjoyed arguing with everyone. I'll talk to you soon.
Just take your phone over and show us the set.
Yeah.
I don't think I can. Well, they're in there playing right now. That would not go over well.
Oh.
Take care, guys.
Cheers, John.
See you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Have
See
fun.
you, John.
Thanks. Man, I was gonna record it and put it out on YouTube too.
That's why he
Foo Fighter
wasn't-
rehearsals. We would have got
You
some
know-
views for once, you guys. You bunch of boring bastards.
He knows better. That's why he didn't record. He didn't take us over with him.
So I don't know how many of you
process.
knew. I don't know how many of you know David Chessel or knew his son Harley.
Yeah.
David.
Harley was what, Eric? 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to this kid?
So Harley, so I'll tell you a quick story. So David came to me, I was at Martin, and David came to me. This is actually a really funny story. He was the guy who did all the sound and lighting and entertainment for Michael Peters Corporation, which was the glamorous gentleman's club owner back then. So Michael Peters was sort of the guy that took strip clubs from being really seedy, dirty, nasty, no cover charge, just gross places, to being really high end, where you had limousines and Ferraris parked in the front of them, and they had big cover charges and bottle service and all that stuff. He's the guy who sort of, ramped it up. And David worked for him and was pretty big in his company, which was called Beverly Hills Management. And I'll never forget, and Eric will remember this too, but our bosses were French and they didn't know any better. And the name for Beverly Hills Management in our computer system, do you remember, Eric, what their code was in the Trackman system?
No, I don't.
Beaver 1. So it was because it was always the first 5 letters of whatever the name of the company was, and then a number. And if there was more than one of them, it'd be number 2. If there was a third one, it'd be number 3. So it was Beaver 1 was their name in our computer system. I'll never forget that. I mean, this was almost 30 years ago, right? So Dave Chessel was our guy in that company. And, all of us got to know him really well. We did way too many events in there and rep meetings that ended up in there or whatever. And he always took amazing care of us. And so Dave came to me one day and he said, my girlfriend is pregnant and I really want to get out of this business and get, I want to be a dad now and I want to get more legitimate and give me a job. And we had nothing for him. And, he had the son and he kept coming back to me. And finally I said, Dave, we'll give you a job, but you've got to start like everyone else at the bottom, and you got to start in the warehouse. And so we gave him a bunch of Martin shirts in like triple XL. And he started working in the warehouse, and he'd bring his toddler at the time, whose name is Harley. Bad joke, Harley, David's son, right? And so he'd bring his son in to work, and he'd play in our warehouse. And so I've literally known Harley since he was born. And so his funeral was today. He committed suicide last weekend, sadly.
Why?
And there's a reason why, and I'm not going to share it here, but he had a very bad life over the last year, and COVID started it. He lost his business, basically. He wasn't necessarily the smartest business guy. He was one of the nicest guys there was, and shared with everyone and did anything for everyone. But he wasn't the greatest business guy, and COVID just knocked him on his ass. And his mother, who David met in the business, so you can understand what type of person maybe his mother was. She had drug problems, really significant drug problems, and died last year from that, I think. So that hit him again. So first he lost his business, then his mother died, and just a lot of bad things happened to him. And then there was a really significant thing that happened about a week ago, and he just couldn't deal with it, and he killed himself. And so anyways, you know, the good news was I got to see a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a year or more today. The bad news is, you know, seeing them at a funeral for, you know, a family like that. And I mean,
right. They were
so
Jewish, so they had the funeral really fast.
yeah, it was at a Jewish, I've never been to a Jewish cemetery funeral, and it was really nice.
I saw the campaign, so.
Yeah. So
How is Dave doing?
So, you know, I wasn't necessarily going to go because I had to come back and do this. I'm not going to just diss all of you guys and say, I'm sorry, I had to go to a funeral. But I went, and all I said was I wanted to get to give Dave the same bear hug that he's been giving me for 30 years. You know, Dave is like the master of bear hugs. And he's a big dude. And when he hugs you, you know, it's not only a hug, he puts his face into it and usually gives you like a sloppy kiss on your cheek or something. But I said to my girlfriend, I said, I got to go over there, and I don't care if I have to stay till 6 o'clock. I'm giving a Dave bear hug. And so as soon as I got there, I just almost bumped right into him. And, you know, we both kind of had a few tears and said some words, and I watched a little bit of the funeral and saw some people talk, and Dave had to say those words that no father should ever have to say about their son. And his girlfriend was probably the saddest one. I mean, that was just like, heart-wrenching. She played the last message that she'd received from him, which was, you know, I'm kind of a screw up and I've done some really stupid things, but you know, you're an amazing person and I love you and all this stuff. And she played the message over the microphone. And so, yeah, it was a real drag. It was really nice, but it was a real drag. And I just feel for Dave in such a big way right now. So any of you who know Dave Chessel, you know, the guy's a sweetheart. He's a big, huge teddy bear. And, you know, one of the stories, I don't know if everyone knows, Eric knows very well because he lived it. But Dave got in an accident in the company vehicle, the Martin little pickup truck, and a dump truck basically fell on top of his little pickup truck while he was driving the work truck. And there's a couple things about that explain who Dave is. One is that Dave dove on top of his son, who was in the passenger seat, to keep him from getting covered with sand from this dump truck, right? And to keep him from getting killed in this accident. And Dave sustained massive injuries because of that. And the second thing, and I don't know this to be true, but Dave told it to me, and Eric, you could confirm or deny, but Dave wouldn't sue Martin's insurance company, even though he had every right to sue Martin's insurance company. He was on work hours driving a work truck or whatever, right? So he never got most of his medical costs and things reimbursed because he refused to sue his employer's insurance company. And he's just that kind of guy, just a quality guy. So anyways, off my soapbox. Eric, I don't know if you want to add anything there.
Marcel, do you know if the family is sitting Shiva this week? That's what Jews do.
I don't know that, Marsha. I'm sorry. I just don't. If you follow Dave on Facebook, he probably won't answer you.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him. I didn't want to bother him because I had seen something on Facebook and my heart just broke when I saw that. You're right. He's a special guy.
Yeah,
and a horrible, really no parent should ever have to go through that. No.
I mean, I've just heard stories about, I mean, we were friends on Facebook, but I heard stories that he would his friends would get married and he'd be like, my wedding gift to you is I'm going to do full production for your wedding. You know what I mean? Like just.
Who, Harley?
Yeah.
Yeah. Harley was definitely a special kid, you know?
Yeah.
Eric, you want to add anything?
Harley, David's son. All right. I mean, that was Dave's thing. We called him, we didn't call him Super Dave for no reason. You know,
No,
he
you're right
was
about
he was
that.
an amazing. He is an amazing guy, and you know, Harley was there all the time with him working, and probably shouldn't have been a lot of times, but
Yeah.
you know, as he was growing up as a kid, but he, you know, it's very sad. It's very tragic, and you know, I like you, I feel for Dave so much.
Yeah.
So
There's, you know, I have an only son. This was Dave's only child and his only son. And I can't even imagine. I mean, I get, you know, my body tenses up even having that thought cross my mind. And you know, the last time I remember going through this with someone was Huddleston with his son James, and it was different circumstances completely, but it was every bit as sad. But anyways, on my way back from the funeral, I was remembering, were you in Dallas with us when we had, I think it was either a trade show or a rep meeting or something in Dallas, and we were in that restaurant and Dave was there? And he went down that slide backwards. We dared him to go down the little kiddie slide in the restaurant, and he got stuck in the tunnel. In the slide, and all the restaurant
it
had
was
to
like a
come and
rep.
get
It
him
was
out
like
of
a
the-
rep meeting. It was like a rep meeting or something. Yeah.
all the staff in the restaurant he's a big dude, Dave Chessel, and he went down a kiddie slide in a restaurant because we dared him, and he had to guzzle like 3 Coronas first and eat a piece of cheesecake or something, and he got stuck in the tunnel on this slide, and so all the staff in the restaurant had to go and see that and rescue him out of this slide. So, but
think
yeah, I got so many Dave members.
Remember him scooting around LDI on a kitted out mobility scooter with a horn and light and stuff.
Yeah,
I remember
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Anyways.
Other people in
yeah.
this industry have gone through that too. You know, Bill Grainer lost a son, and Rick
Yeah, I
Gray from
remember
the
Bill.
Wind Vegas lost a daughter, and it's
Bill
very,
was like
very
Christmas
sad.
Eve or something, wasn't it? It was Christmas Day or
Bill?
Christmas Eve. Yeah, Bill
Bill
Grainer.
Grainer?
It was.
don't
I think
remember
it was
that,
either
but he
Christmas
was
Eve or
such a
Christmas Day.
It was.
Yeah,
Sad.
horrible. Yeah. Anyway, so sorry for bumming everyone out, but I think most of us here know Dave, and a lot of us knew Harley, and it's just a really tragic situation.
It is sad.
But I'm honored that I was able to make the funeral, though. So
I think it's a good thing you went.
yeah, wow, it was a good thing for me, and I think he enjoyed having me there. So
I'm sure he appreciated having you there, Marcel.
I think so.
Does he live right near you?
He lives in Fort Lauderdale. I'm in Palm Beach, and it was sort of between us, the funeral. So it was close enough. And I mean, I obviously would have driven a lot further, but it definitely was a little bit handy for me to get there. But yeah. So anyways, so anything happier than that? That would be good.
I played golf yesterday.
Oh my God.
I
How'd that go?
was happy.
Yeah.
Actually, it went pretty well. 9 holes on a fun course with a friend. And I was happy to see that I still have a swing after many moon of not playing. So I'm gearing up for Vegas, guys.
Uh-oh. So Eric Loader, so I haven't played in 7 or 8 years because I just got too angry, and I was throwing clubs and, you know, cursing way too much. And
You like that guy at the Masters who smashed his putter and it broke?
no, I mean, I've smashed so many. I threw a driver into a lake. I mean, I'm that bad, you know, I'm an idiot. But so I just quit because it wasn't fun for me. You know, I was actually a decent golfer, and then I took a whole bunch of lessons and I became worse. I had a better swing, but I couldn't hit the ball. So anyways, I haven't played in 7 or 8 years. I live next to a golf course here, which is actually kind of nice. And I started talking to them a couple weeks ago, and they said, you know, here's a nothing deal. Become a social member, and you can just come over and eat here. And our food is discounted, and it's a really good deal, and it's a beautiful place and all this stuff. And I said, oh, that makes sense. You've got a pool, you know, my son can go hang out at the pool or whatever. So we did this, and immediately they're all over me about bring your clubs over. You can play for free. Come on. Our pro's giving you 3 or 4 free lessons, you know, come on over. They're trying to hook me, and I'm just like, nope. So I might put my golf clubs on OfferUp or something just so I don't get tempted.
You said they're trying to hook you. That's probably what was your problem. You're hooking the ball, right?
Oh,
Make you
hook,
angry.
slice, miss it all together. Just incredible things I can do with a golf ball. Yeah.
What's your
Not good.
index, Eric?
Right now, it's probably about a 10.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Mine's 15.3.
Plays every day. Index. We don't call it a handicap anymore.
No,
I don't.
Why is that?
I don't
like not
play every
socially
day. I
acceptable
play
or something?
once a week.
This handicap is not a
you use the index based on the slope of the course to
Oh,
determine
okay.
what your handicap is for the course itself.
I see.
So it changes by course.
Very technical.
Very complicated.
That's
People
why
used to ask me.
There's an app for it, and I use it.
People used to
Yeah,
ask me what my handicap was,
USGA
and I said my
USGA has an
brain.
app that you can do. USGA, I think it's 10.3 or something like that right now.
Well, that's pretty good. Is that the same as your handicap then, roughly? So you have a 10 handicap?
Roughly, yes. It depends on the
Yeah.
course and
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you because what usually your handicap is based on your home course, but if you play a lot of different courses, then it differs,
You use an
right?
index.
Depending on the slope, so then you use the index. Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter just started playing this year in high school because she didn't want to do PE, right? She figured golf would be the only sport that she wouldn't have to sweat a lot. So little does she know she has to carry her bag for 9 holes 3 days a week. And, it's kind of hot here, so there's some sweat going on.
Yeah.
And, so kind of the joke's on her, but she's starting to like it. And she was going to play tennis, but tennis wasn't available because of COVID. Go figure. I don't know. So
I don't get that one either.
yeah. So she's playing golf. So now they're 3-0 as on the junior varsity team. And she's getting she actually beat one of my friends last week. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you posted a video of her swing, and she had a pretty decent looking swing.
Yeah, she won't listen to my instructions, so she's just kind of learning it on herself,
Yeah. Well, one of the things I learned early on in racing is it's probably best you could be dad or you could be coach. Pick one. You
Yeah,
can't be both.
exactly.
And I learned that in racing because it's so hard to try and coach your kid because they just listen to you differently.
It's the same thing with getting my wife to golf. I just took her to Golf Tech. Here you go. Have some lessons because she hates it when I try and correct her.
Yeah.
So that's the
I've
way-
never known wives to be that way.
No, shocking.
Most wives love being corrected. Am I wrong?
100% wrong.
Ah, there you go. Knew you'd be piping up.
Sisters don't like it either.
Yeah.
How many divorces have you had, Marcel?
Just one.
Okay. You learned the first time.
Just one. No, I stayed married for almost 25 years. Yeah. I don't know what I learned. I learned that divorce is very expensive. Although today,
You know
somebody
why?
just sent me an article that there's they're pushing a new law or legislature or whatever they're doing in Florida right now to abolish the alimony for life law in Florida. So after you've been married for 17 years, it's alimony for life. And under the proposed new law, the maximum could be half of however many years you were married, is one of the changes. And there's multiple changes. And, obviously I welcome that, but a little too late for me, unfortunately. So, yeah, I love alimony.
So I did talk to HUD yesterday, and yeah, they had 25,000 people at the WWE thing each day. So that was pretty cool.
Really?
Where was
WrestleMania. Yeah, WrestleMania.
Tampa.
In Tampa. So
Yeah.
obviously it's a stadium that fits. The stadium fits 75,000. So,
Yeah.
they had a hard welcoming of coming to Tampa, boy. They got hit
Why?
with crazy storms during setup, destroyed the scenic sails on the pirate ship they had, all sorts of stuff. It was really tough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you there?
That's why Head said he's only buying IP stuff in the future.
Exactly. No, I wasn't there. Justin Chatham, our associate designer program, he was sending me videos from it while it was happening. They had to evacuate front of house and get everybody the bombs at one point. Like, it was really dangerous. for a
Yeah,
minute
those
there.
storms hit here a few days ago. Sunday, I guess, right?
Yeah.
When was the show?
2 days in a row.
Saturday and Sunday, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we got those storms too.
I think, oh, so bad. I spoke to some friends upstate and there was some like tornado stuff that happened too, wasn't there? Like really high winds.
Where was that?
The storms that came through Florida and all of the.
Oh, yeah, it was
bad,
it was
horrible.
winds.
Yeah.
You know, water. There was a huge water spout outside of I think Tampa, St. Pete area. It's pretty cool looking, actually.
Cool.
Okay, kids, I gotta run. We'll see you next week.
I got to run too.
Adios.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good week, everyone.